Congressman Eric Swalwell and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar put out an incredible attack ad against Kevin McCarthy that you have to see. And this is the type of rhetoric that we should see from Democrats all the time. It is incredible. Let's take a look.
Kevin McCarthy, you want to talk about law and order? Okay, let's talk. Bakersfield.
And this is in the wake of him putting out this Commitment to America plan where he does focus a lot on crime, law and order. And so they're kind of addressing that specific point.
The heart of your congressional district is now ranked in the top 10 most dangerous metro areas in America. Your own sheriff said, we know we have
a violent crime issue.
Kevin, your district has been the murder capital of California for 5 years in a row. And if you're so concerned about crime, why did you vote against $350 billion in funding for law enforcement? Every Democrat voted for it. When Democrats passed a bipartisan bill to fund local police departments, you didn't even bother casting a vote. Kevin, if you really want to talk about crime, let's start with your own party. Because it sure seems like you and your MAGA pals are fine with certain crimes. Crimes like stealing top-secret nuclear files, attacking the nation's capital, assaulting police officers, attempting to overthrow an election. Not to mention the little stuff, like tax and bank fraud. The truth is, Kevin, you aren't anti-crime, and neither is your party. You and your fellow Republicans are just trying to scare voters, playing politics while leaving it to Democrats to actually work for the safety of Americans. Everyone can see. You're not pro-cop, Kevin McCarthy. You're pro-coup.
Ooh, that is good stuff. So, tapping into an issue that the voters of the person you're going after cares about, right? So for Kevin McCarthy, the reason why he talks much about crime is because people, presumably in his district, care a lot about that. And so then they highlight, listen, you've been a congressman and haven't improved the conditions in your district like you should have or like you claim to be trying to. And on the specific issue that you're trying to highlight Democrats for being bad on, your district ranks horribly. What have you been doing to actually improve, the reality on the ground in regard to crime? And they list specific examples where, and we see this so often, the Democratic Party actually puts up legislation to try to fund more or invest in or do different things to lower crime or support law enforcement or whatever. And oftentimes Republicans don't even support those things. And then they go out and talk about how it's the Democrats who want to defund the police, right? And they went hard on that issue and gave specific examples. And then they talked about Donald Trump, the person that you sick up to day after day, is an alleged huge criminal. All these different investigations going on into him. And then you cover for the actions of what happened on January 6th. And you pretend to be pro-law enforcement while you were, again, perpetuating talking points that cover for the assaulting and aggressive actions towards law enforcement on January 6th. And I just love that. I just love the way they laid that out. I wish the Democratic Party was that effective all the time. And the other big part about this is don't run away from these issues. If Republicans want to talk a bunch about crime, you lean into it. Like we saw Gavin Newsom highlight the highest crime rates. When you list the top 10 highest crime rate states, red states, 8 out of 10 of them. Boom. 8 out of 10 of the top 10 highest crime rate states are Republican states. And so you can talk about these issues and win on them and not just ignore the lies that Republicans spread about the reality on the ground. And I think they did a really good job of exposing him in many ways on that. Really loved it. Hopefully we see more of that going into the midterms, which is incredibly close, a month away.